That's going to be a headline, so just, I thought people want to know. Anyway, it's great to visit schools, obviously. In the budget last night, I talked a lot about making sure that our schools get enough resources to do their work, and that's one of the reasons I'm here, besides talking about applesauce. So be glad to answer any questions.
Governor, Assembly Speaker said that your budget proposal, much of what's in there is already dead on arrival. How concerned are you about the pushback by Republicans moving forward at this point?
You know, it's an interesting question because my budget is going to reduce property taxes. My budget is going to, you know, make sure that our public schools have resources. My budget is going to keep property taxes low or even not, you know, no increases. So if he's saying get thrown out of office next time, because I know the people of Wisconsin want lower taxes, we did it. We also people are very insistent on making sure that our schools are appropriately funded. We've done that too in the budget. So, you know, he can talk smart now, but at the end of the day, we're working together to make sure we get these things across the finish line.
How do you work together though? Because, and you know, there are a lot of cuts, tax cuts,
right.
over-the-counter drugs,
right.
you know, property taxes.
Right.
Is there something? Is there going to be a compromise?
Well, if there's a compromise that works, absolutely. But you know, our University of Wisconsin system is absolutely needs more money, and our public schools need more money. And so yes, can there be a compromise? But let's, you know, they do this every year. Every year, it's like okay, we're throwing it out, and then that really doesn't happen because they talk about it anyway and come to some conclusion. So I'm not concerned about their commentary at this point in time, but if I was Robin Voss, I'd be worried about some of his folks not getting reelected because they've refused to lower taxes and provide money for schools. It can be done, and if they're not going to do it, then they're going to lose some of their members, and I think he won't be speaker anymore. So
Governor,
there you go.
Governor, on Monday, Republicans said that building a new prison is still on the table in response to you deciding to close GBCI. Is there any leeway on that? And they also said, you know, some of those dominoes that you talked about that had to come into place to have the prison closed, they said they're against it, including early release, expanding those provisions. Your response to that? Well, my response on the very last part of the question is early release is something that they have supported in the past. So if they're against it's not early release. It's making sure that, you know, they're ready to be released, and so, you know, the idea that somehow they're now against something that they're used to be for, that's kind of confusing to me. But at the end of the day, it's a important plan, but it's always been we have to move those kids out of northern Wisconsin into places where it's closer to home, and we've been working on that for 4 years. Once Lincoln Hills is emptied out, it becomes a medium prison, and so all these dominoes have to happen, and they can happen. It's a reasonable plan. I had individual Republicans last night telling me, we got to get this done. I'm with them. We got to get this done. What about building that new prison, though, that prison? Are you going to build a new prison like they said, or is that off the table?
New prison where? I'm sorry. No.
They're talking about it. They're saying, hey, it's still on the table. Would that be a deal breaker for you? Is that not even in the discussion?
Well, I'm not even sure what they're talking about, because Waupun will be completely redone, and it will become a vocational school or a vocational educational system. But there will be prisoners there. Green Bay will be closed. We are not rebuilding in Green Bay. No one has brought that up, and so we believe that getting that offline and doing the other things, we can get this done. It makes sense, and so I'm looking forward to it. I had, like I said before, I had Republican legislators talk to me last night, and they said we got to get this done, and I agree. Governor,
if GBCI does close, what would you like to see there, and are you willing to transfer the property to the Village of Alloway?
Oh, we'll figure that out. That's the minor part of this. It'll be close. There's no question about that. But we have to start with getting the kids of Lincoln Hill and brought to the type 1 facilities and around the state, primarily in southern Wisconsin. Then something else can happen after that, that being making Lincoln Hills into a medium prison. And we have to make sure that Stanley has the resources to become a maximum prison. So all these things can happen, and we can get, be in a much better place than we are now.
But
Thanks,
no
you guys.
new prisons
Last
that would
question, you guys.
replace
I called it twice
Waupun and in Green Bay to combine them, as Republicans have suggested. No new prisons, you're standing fast on that.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll take $1 billion and probably 10 years to make that happen. If they want to wait that long and spend more money, I would be against that, but that seems to be a silly thing. Stanley has a room. We'll add on to Stanley. That'll become a maximum prison, and then we're done. We're
it.
done.
Thanks, guys.
Simple. Good.
Yep, no, you're all good. And the bill that the governor's talking about, just so folks know, the earned release program that he's talking about, the bill that Republicans supported, it was